What's up, family? It's your boy D Gray back again. I'm back to do this thing that I like to do, that I'm commanded to do. We're going to make a quick one today. I haven't been on in a while. Got to take care of some things, trying to get some things squared away. But today we're going to take the time to talk about what we're seeing in the news. As you know, this administration is doing a lot of things that are counterintuitive to the things that we need to be doing as a nation. In Israel, and a lot of us out there are sitting back going, yeah, sign of the times, the days could be coming to an end, but until then we still need to live in this place. Until Yahushua comes back and redeems us, we still need to live in this place. So there's some things that we still need to be aware of and react to. We can't just sit back and just watch things burn around us. If it's not time, then you're just sitting around in misery. Right now, we're going to allow the Most High to have that timetable that he wants. He'll send back the king when he gets ready to. But in the meantime, we still got to live on this thing. So, take that however you want to take it. But today I wanted to talk about what we're seeing in the news as far as what this administration is trying to do to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and make no bones about it. Everything they're doing is to keep us oppressed, to keep the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans oppressed. And they're using poor white people to do it. So if they can continue to deceive poor, struggling white people, then that's just a tool that they use to continue to oppress us. They're changing the narrative. What are they doing? They are controlling the media. They're controlling the story. So it's imperative for us to continue to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth as we see it. And we're going to do it in scripture. The one thing that we have to understand is a lot of this stuff that's happening is prophesied. It's prophesied. So any of you Bible thumping Christians in MAGA, wherever you are, if you believe in the Bible, we're going to show you where you're wrong, where this will be ultimate judgment for you, even outside the judgment that's already coming. So those out there making laws against us and doing all these bad things, understand, you're either fulfilling prophecy or God's going to judge you even more harshly than he was going to in the first place. So let's go to the Bible real quick, and I'm going to show you where everything you're seeing is biblical and prophetic. So let's go to the Bible real quick. So we're going to go to Psalms. We're going to start off in Psalms, and that's in 83 and 1. Psalms 83 and 1. Let me even see if I can make that even bigger so that we can bring the point home here. Psalms 83 and 1. And it reads, a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. It says here, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult. A tumult means they're being loud and they're being obnoxious. Okay, you've seen that already with January 6th and everything else that these MAGA weirdos do. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Believe me, don't let these Christians, these so-called Christians in MAGA, believe that they love God. Their new God is Donald Trump and everything that he stands for. They don't love God, because if they love God, who they think is Jesus, then they would be nicer about the things that they do. They would be nicer people, but they're not. They what? They make a tumult. That's all they do is argue and hate and show disdain for the true chosen people of God, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans for the most part. Okay, and they that hate thee have lifted up their heads, have lifted up the head. Let's go to the next verse. This is key. For they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. What does that mean? Crafty counsel against thy people. Let's go back to the Jumbotron. Crafty counsel against thy people. What does that mean? To take up crafty counsel against thy people, you have to know who thy people is, who those people are. And we know by scripture, by prophecy, we know that they're the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans of this country and abroad. Okay? Taking up crafty counsel against thy people. What's the first thing that dude did when he came into office? He got rid of, before he even lowered the price of eggs. He ran on inflation and the price of eggs. But before he even did any of that, he got rid of what? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now they'll try to disguise it with, it was against, the alphabet group, against women, but basically this was against minorities of the Black, Hispanic, and Native American persuasion. More pointedly, black people. They made it a point before they even lowered the price of eggs or interest rates to buy new houses to get rid of black people stuff, to get rid of anything that might remotely empower black people. That's the crafty counsel they took against thy people. Thy hidden ones? Who are thy hidden ones? That's our future. That's our progeny. Okay? They're not even born yet. They're making plans to subjugate and oppress us into the future. That's who thy hidden ones are. Let's go to the next verse. They have come and said, excuse me, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. What are they doing right now? They're trying to take black history out of the curriculum of schools. They're trying to do away with black history. They tried to disguise it with critical race theory and say anything that has anything to do with black history, and if it's being taught to little white children, that has to be abolished. So they're trying to cut us off from being a nation, right? That the name of Israel, get this, may be no more in remembrance. When you start manipulating history to erase what they've done and any accomplishment that we may have had since the dawn of this country, they're trying to make sure that their future, the hidden ones, that our future progeny have no evidence that we ever did anything to build this country. That's what this is about. This is in the Bible. This is prophecy. If you can't see that this is prophecy and that if you support this, you are an enemy of God. You are a very, very slow person. I can't say what I want to say. Look at that. They said, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, God's chosen people, may be no more in remembrance. Think about what they're trying to do here. Let's go to the next verse. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. I have a video where I talk about this is not by mistake. This word is not by mistake. This is not an anomaly. They are confederate against thee. So go look at that video. Let's go to the next verse. And then it just goes into who's all part and parcel in that endeavor to erase us from memory. That's what they're doing. So what did I just show you? I showed you prophecy. I showed you in the Bible where it's clear as to what they're trying to do, and what you're seeing in the news today, what you're seeing around this nation, is that prophecy being fulfilled. But let's talk about the evidence. Let's talk about the evidence. Let's get there. This is the fact sheet. Donald Trump removes DEI from foreign service, right? One of the first things he did, right, was get rid of DEI. That's one of the first things he did. Before he lowered the price of eggs, before he did anything with gas prices, before he did anything, he got rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That shows you where their minds are at. That shows you where they are. This is even an older one. But we know that one of the initial executive order signings was to get rid of anything that had to do with black folks. Okay? Let's look at this. What did we talk about? The dangerous campaign to ban the studies of black history and culture. This is on the governing website. And this goes into basically what they're trying to do, why they're doing what they're doing as far as black curriculum, right? This particular article talks about, kind of breaks it down as to why it's dangerous that they're doing this, why they're doing this, but we all know what it is. We intimidate them so bad it's not even funny. So they want to wipe us out of history, wipe us away from history. Look at what they're doing here. Look, Arlington National Cemetery stops highlighting some historical figures on its website. And check this out. It says Arlington Cemetery has begun wiping from its website histories highlighting black, Hispanic, and women veterans. This is important to them. This is important to them. Think about it. Think about it. If we go back here, what does that say? That Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to wipe us away from history so the hidden ones will never believe that we had anything to do with building this country. That our blood, our death, our genocide was nothing. That's a lie. It didn't happen. That we're just a bunch of lazy bastards and females out here trying to twerk and get cooch and all this other stuff. That we're just lazy. That we had nothing to do with it. This is what they're trying to do. This is what they're trying to do. Did you see this? Hold on. Did you see this? They removed Jackie flippin' Robinson from the Department of Defense website. Jackie Robinson? Jackie Robinson was one of the greatest Americans that ever lived. And he was an African American, so-called. They removed it. But then they had to restore it because people, come on, man. They had to restore it because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But believe me, if nobody had made an uproar about it, it would have been gone. It would have been gone. This is how you know the Bible's true. I just showed you. And there's many more articles. There's many more pieces of evidence that 83, 1 through what? 1 through 4? Why that's prophecy and that you got to pay attention to that. These are not friends to God. MAGA is not friends to God. MAGA is against you. And it's super, super disrespectful to see anybody, Black, Hispanic, or Native American, supporting this nonsense because you're basically putting a hand in on your own demise. Like your history doesn't mean anything. Like the sacrifices of our forefathers and our mothers and fathers, our grandfathers meant nothing because they would just wipe it out. They would erase it and call it DEI or being woke. That's another thing. Calling something, they took something we created and turned it against us. They turned it into a bad word. Being woke, the wokeism. That's just like them, man. That's just like that group of people, man. To take a word that we created as a positive and turn it into a cuss word and a battle cry against us. Now we're even afraid to say woke. I'm going to bring back woke. We're going to stay woke. Just like anything else, they take something from us and make it corny. This is prophecy. This is gonna happen. These are things that are happening. We got to be very diligent in how we react to it. We got to stay in these scriptures, these laws, statutes, and commandments. You better get a spiritual basis to you, because your spirit's gonna get tested. And if you don't have a basis for spirituality as far as the scriptures are concerned, if you're not keeping trying to separate yourself as far as high holy days, righteous acts, and all these other things, you're going to get caught up. You're going to get caught up. But we as warriors, we don't sit back and just let people do stuff to us. Turn the other cheek doesn't mean be a professional victim or advocating for a lot of goofy stuff. There's certain battles we take and other battles we have to sit back. But this is not a battle when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your livelihood, or our history. Even if you are an Israelite, remember that even the civil rights movement was successful in the fact that we can even get on video and say the things we say without too many repercussions. If there's anything positive to say about Babylon in that regard, is that we can get up here and say what we need to say and then go to the store and buy our food and do what we need to do without an overarching fear that we're going to be what? Lynched, killed, or whatever. If there's anything to say about it, but we got to use it wisely, and it ain't sit back and wait for the chariots to come and the bombs to drop. In the meantime, we have to live here. Now that doesn't mean I'm saying that everybody needs to go out and vote and be a part of the hypocrisy, but what it is you need to be out here being more fervent and more zealous in what we're doing and understanding what we're seeing. And those that are in the other nations understand where, if you believe in the Bible, you better understand where you stand. You better understand where you stand. You better understand where you're at in that prophecy and be on the right side of it. That's what I'm saying. So that's all I need to say in this video. It was a quick one. And keep your head up, guys. Stay fervent. Stay in these scriptures. Stay prayed up. And do what the Most High is telling you to do through Yahweh Shai. And that means keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's your basis. That's your shield. You understand? Put on that armor. You know what I mean? And keep your head on a swivel. So with all that, I say all praises to the Most High God in the name of Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.